Hello,
How are you?
I'm good. Is there a public copy?
Right there.
Thank you. I bet you were worried I wasn't coming.
This is the first one you've been to that I've been at.
Was that?
This is the first one you've been to that I've been at.
No.
Yes?
No, it is not. I've been here a number of times when you've been here, Greg.
Not a park board meeting.
Yes.
You were here, but he wasn't.
Yeah, I was gone.
Yeah, there was one, but you were seated looking that way. I was here when you were here.
Was there?
Oh, yeah, a couple times. Even when Lochner was here.
When Lochner was here, yeah, but not
Yeah.
That's your gaga ball.
Oh,
Octoball, they call it around the areas.
oh, I
around
see.
here.
Yeah, exactly. That is what I was talking about.
And it's, you have to hit the ground twice, all the rules are here too, hit the ground twice and then try to hit a person. If they catch it, you're out. It's like dodgeball, it's just in a, you have to bounce it twice and then you're in a less, smaller area.
They get kind of wild.
They do get wild.
And you can actually get hurt doing it, but you can in any sport, you know. But they get pretty rowdy.
I would put some kind of a protective something over the edge. But that's hard to do because if it's foam, they're just gonna rip it out.
Is that how that's pictured? Is that like above the ground?
It's above the ground.
Oh, yeah, see, in the cities where they have these, they're down in the pit.
Oh,
And I don't know if that's to prevent the ball from flying out a little more or what, but that's the way they're built down there.
I would think that'd be more dangerous because if somebody's riding a bicycle,
fall right in. Yeah, I don't know.
I was at St. Cloud State many years ago, and Chris and Brent Van Rissingham, my nephews were little. I took them there and I went to the science building and there's a cement wall about this high. And I said, I'll race you to the wall, you know, and I was gonna jump over it, and at the last second I didn't. And I looked on the other side, it was a place where they put supplies, and this thing was angled way down. I would have had like a 25, 30-foot drop. You should have put a warning on that wall.
Looks like there's not a quorum, huh?
Not yet, no. No.
Did you get a hold of Dave?
Yeah, he's out of the way.
Okay.
Can you do me a favor? Can I make 2 copies of that? It's from
Do you think this would work like in Gamma? Something like either one of them. Nothing else, you can turn that into a grape arbor.
Yeah, that's true. Let's measure something up there for the lanes.
Almost like you should designate these parks for different things, you know, like, you know, the West Side Park down there is mostly softball and stuff, with playground stuff. Pine Grove is more geared toward walking and nature trails and stuff, and,
And that's what kind of that list is for, is to get us thinking what activities we want at each one.
what would best fit, you know, it's like, Le Bourget is, it's such a nice scenic area, you know, you need to build out from that, instead of cluttering it up with a whole bunch of stuff. The picnic tables and grills sounds nice, that kind of fits that park.
And that I have money for.
I'll go up there and grill. Keep the geese out of your spot.
Well, you know, and that, I had never thought of it before the last meeting we had here, you weren't here, that, when they were talking about that this is so hard to keep water on,
Oh,
Yeah, I was here last time.
that, flood levels are
That's, I thought the same thing.
skating. It's like, where's too much water to flood out?
well, the problem with that is our sanitary sewer runs right through there.
The what?
Sanitary sewer, where that, they have two pig holes in top of the manhole covers. So any water that we'd stick on there,
Right down,
go right down there.
how about Les Bergers?
That's what I'm
That's what
talking
it's
about.
talking about.
Camera's a little small for,
But I would, you have manhole covers, but that isn't the area where I would, well,
What are
the,
you thinking?
the upper area, where the grass is.
Oh, you know it kills the grass, right?
that's the bad thing.
Yeah.
Suffocates the grass.
If you freeze it, it kills it. That's why this one over here looks so sad in the summer.
You almost have to have a designated.
This
How
one-
about the garden areas? If
This
you-
one, this
if
one
you-
doesn't get a whole lot of use either though. But it's so
It used to.
used to, it doesn't anymore. I think if a warming house was there, it would get more use.
Yeah.
You know, that's what people want after you skate for a while and get cold, you go in and warm up.
More, and bathrooms,
Yeah.
nation up. Well, we can't do nothing, can
Yeah.
You'll notice we do have the election of officers on this one as well. So when David gets here, I'll open up the meeting and call for that.
we? Is John gonna be here too?
He's running late. He didn't say what time he was gonna be here. So he might show up, might not, I don't know, depending on what happens,
Anyone want to pop here?
I'm good. Hey, there's John.
There's John.
John?
All right, Mike. How's it going? Did you get my message?
I did, yes.
Yeah, packet. Hey.
No.
Sorry.
Hey,
You know we got plenty.
Plenty.
There we go.
All right, it is 4:15, we'll call the meeting to order. We do have a quorum. First item for business is the election of officers. To give you an idea, last year, we had the board chair as Jeff Cheetah, the vice chair was John Better, and the secretary is Brad Hercock. I will open up the nominations for board chair.
I'll nominate Jeff Cheetah.
Second.
We've got a motion and a second for Jeff Cheetah. Is there any other nominations? With that, we'll close the nominations. We've got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Congratulations, Jeff. You're the board chair again. I will turn it over to you to accept nominations for the vice chair and secretary.
And I will open it up for vice chair.
I'll nominate John.
So you nominated me for secretary, you know how that went out the first time.
Brad's not here. Can't argue.
We have a first for John,
I'll second it.
and David seconded. Any other? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Secretary, open the nomination.
I'll nominate Brad Hercock pending his acceptance.
Second.
Any other? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Feel better?
Yeah, I'm just not, I'm like very just quick minute guy. I'm like, this is what happened, bam.
Any additions to the agenda?
Did we talk about other old business? About the proceeds proceeds, or do we even need to bring that up anymore?
That was.
I would like to discuss it,
So I mean, if we want to discuss it, we can put it on there.
because we're still looking for an answer.
Well, it did go through, if you read the minutes from the.
Council meeting.
Council meeting?
Yeah.
If you want a take on it, I can give you one.
Should we add it?
Maybe we don't even need to add
Okay,
it. We can
very,
just
very quickly.
Yeah, it was, they decided to divide it in 3 ways. So actually, this group gets 16,000 some dollars. Part of it went for a new website, and then the other part was we need to do a comp plan.
Yeah.
And
A comp plan?
comp plan, we're due, and they felt like, you know, it was a whole new council versus
Update that, yeah.
versus before. They had to go on my word because there was never anything presented to the council after that one meeting we had. So, and I voted for it because 7 out of the 8 guys already did, and I figured some is better than nothing, and it wasn't going anywhere else. So, from, at my point, so 16,000 some dollars is,
Went to zoo reduction.
yeah.
Okay, without that, is the agenda,
Well, just a quick comment, it's still frustrating, because that's not what that, we would, I wouldn't have sold that land for 16 grand as a park.
you know, it didn't.
Not that I sold.
Oh. But we just recommended them.
And we recommended it, and I had to take a second look at it. We didn't know if the land was gonna sell or not. Some of that land was actually different land than what we even discussed at that meeting and stuff. So,
Yeah, they lumped all the
Oh.
properties that sold that year, I believe.
It was like-
One.
just under 50,
Yeah, just under 50.
so,
Well, just so we don't feel like, or at least me, speaking for myself, don't feel like I'm wasting my time. If this board makes a recommendation, it'd be nice for the council to hear.
Mm-hmm. That would do.
Because otherwise, what are we doing here? You know, so. Okay,
Have a
good enough is
motion
good
to-
enough.
A motion to adopt the agenda,
So moved.
second.
any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Minutes from the last meeting,
Make a motion to accept the meeting minutes.
motion by Frank, so a second?
Sure.
A second, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Finance? Good.
In here, we've got finance report for January. You know, only 1 month of the year's kind of taking place, so it's a little difficult to see where we're at, obviously, with the year. But the one item I wanted to address is the ice rinks. That's really the main item that we've been looking at thus far. It's on page 3 of your thing. Right now, we're at about 24% of our regular pay for that item, which you kind of expect, just because January is when we're trying to make the ice. So, I mean, looks like everything's kind of on target with that. But really our big item that we've been looking at is the ice rinks.
I see that on the news last night, Minneapolis, St. Paul, this is the last weekend.
Really?
They're done.
Doesn't surprise me. If we're supposed to be getting 40-degree weather, it's gonna be extremely tough to get
Yeah.
ice to stay in and even get back.
But they're not even gonna attempt it after this weekend. They're all done with the Zambonis, everything. Only everything.
Yeah, we'll see how the weather holds out. I'm not ready to make that call yet, but we'll see what the
You
weather.
know, if it melts off, I don't think we should go through the work to try to build it back up for a week.
Not for a week, no.
Yeah.
I mean,
The
if we
problem,
get,
even if it does get a little cold, is with the sun nowadays, you know,
comes right off of the boards.
Yeah, I certainly wouldn't worry about the boards if you wanted to pour some water in those ponds that we have,
Mhm.
that doesn't take much, does it?
Which ponds?
I mean, there's one over
On the west
on
side.
the west
The
side.
open rinks or whatever?
Yeah, the
Yeah,
open rinks.
yeah.
That wouldn't be. If it gets cold again.
If it gets cold, yeah.
And then if this one isn't really being used, like you said,
Right,
why flood it?
right.
Okay, with that, recreational activities.
The next page on, in your packet here, we got the recreational activities, and I got a couple of these items lumped together, but first let's talk about the recreational activities. Left side of this page, we've got the parks, so the one on the top is the ARC, or the Area Recreation Complex. And then the activities listed are on the right. Right now, the ones that are not underlined are what's currently at those particular facilities. The underlined items are ones that I thought we might want to consider adding or having at that location. So as you go down the list, again, you know, the ARC, currently we just have the playground there. Do we want to consider putting trails, baseball park, and maybe even a dog park at that facility? And you can kind of see the number of parks in the city and the various activities that we have. So I'll give you a minute or so, just kind of look through here and maybe we can generate some discussion about the parks and which activities we want at those locations.
Gamrot Park, did Mr. Gamrot ever send money for the sign?
Not yet. What he would like to see is the playground installed in order to do that. You know, we do have the sign up there for it. It's just a matter of putting up a playground for it. He has committed some funds for it. Obviously, it's not enough to cover the full cost of a playground, but it's a nice chunk of change to go forward with. So we would have to, you know, look to the park improvement fund to make up that difference.
And your opinion, having a playground right there, when you just go across the road, there's a really nice big one, a couple of them, if you use Lincoln School.
True.
Anyway, it's just, I'm looking at it as you're gonna be a big use of,
Right.
okay,
I think it depends if that area, you know, kind of north of there, if and when that develops. You know,
Yeah.
right now, it's kind of undeveloped, wooded. Once that develops into residential ideally, I think that would get a lot more use in that area.
And some younger families moving in, yeah.
I'd love to wait on that if we could, but
Yeah, and he hasn't set a
Playground.
timeline on it.
for Gamma,
Yeah, I don't see that as being a priority.
no, I didn't
It's
either.
Not in the top 10. If you look beside Barry's got numbers behind.
And that's actually the
Yeah.
next item on the agenda, but yes.
But
Okay.
Well, that-
are we
those
supposed
numbers
to be looking over here and adding or changing?
Yep, that's the idea. Look on the right-hand side, you know, in terms of the activities, adding, changing,
So your print,
deleting.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
That's what the discussion is for, is to see, you know, at Columbia Park or at Gamrot Park, what activities do you want to see there? Do you want to see walking trails? Do you want to see a playground? Anything else that you'd like to see at that location?
See, to build these for that money you have from Gamrot, which wouldn't cost us anything, you know, and that's a little different use than a regular playground, but yet I could see kids using this.
Yeah.
So, did you see these?
Mhm.
Okay.
So the parentheses are what you see as the priorities, number one being the mulch,
True,
two being
true. And we'll kind of get into those numbers
I mean, I've got,
on the next one. Do you want to start at the top and just work through, like for instance at the ARC? Do you see anything else going out there right now? Obviously we've got the playground, then we've got trails, baseball and the dog park potentially out there.
You've got here, disc golf, the skate
Yep,
park, splash pad
yep.
thing.
Do you want all those moved over? It's open for discussion,
That's where they're gonna go,
okay?
If we ever,
if we ever do it. I mean, we're just putting this down as where do we foresee these things? Well, that would be it. It would be at the yard.
How much money did Burlington Northern give towards,
25,000 towards bathrooms.
so that wouldn't even get, we'd be only 1/4 of the way.
Yes.
So what is our total budget for park improvement?
28 something?
No, it was more than that. It was like 45,000 for park improvement, because right now 30,000 was kind of earmarked for hockey boards for this year. And there's a couple other smaller ones that were earmarked as well.
But there might be a potential that money could come from somewhere else.
Potentially.
Okay.
Well, it looks,
Well, they are, as far as the big projects, they're not feasible right now. If there wasn't a group that's trying to get money together.
but they should go over here,
They
the
should go over
activities
there.
that
That's-
they
Yeah.
belong there.
Yeah, that's where
Whether they're gonna go
they
there
aren't gonna, at this point, they aren't gonna go anywhere else,
without
that kind of
funding, but
space.
they,
So I guess the question, if I may, is do you want a splash pad up at the arc?
I think we've voted on that years in the past, and it's always come out that splash pad, and the skate park were the two big ones out there, which would require a bathroom.
Yeah.
Walking trails and disc golf, that's less expense, and that's something that maybe can come in as a grant or something comes in, because you don't need as much money.
Right.
so when we're talking mulch, are we talking rubber mulch?
Right now, it's, the price that we've got there, that 15,000 is just the
Wood chips.
wood chips. Okay, it's consistent with what we've got there.
We have no mulch there now at all, right?
We have mulch there.
That seems pretty high.
It's wood
Mulch.
chips.
It's wood chips, but it's compressed. So you can see where the mark should be at, and it's just over time, it consolidates.
Okay.
Ideally, I'd love to have rubber mulch, but it's
Yeah, well,
more than what we can necessarily afford at this
and
point.
then rubber mulch, if you look, there's a lot of cities that have it that are tearing it out.
The stuff that they've got down south right across from St. Otto's is the stuff that I would go with.
That's been about 4 or 5 years.
But that is now, the EPA is trying to,
Stop that?
for no children under the age of 3, because of it's made out of recycled rubber,
Diarrhea.
and it's got formaldehyde and other things in there that they are thinking about outlawing that completely.
The formaldehyde wouldn't be an issue, but if there's other petroleum products coming off from
Because
that
the-
with the heat, I could see that, because even regular tires on a car, you can smell it when it's.
But they are
heated up.
actually, there are places that have already outlawed that.
Oh,
well,
If you talk to
we
the
can't afford it
Lions,
anyway.
Yeah.
that put it in there, they're not as happy with that as what they thought they were gonna be either.
Well, 15,000 seems high.
or chips.
For
For
chips.
chips, it's actually not.
That's a large area.
What was the price per yard?
We had, at that one up there, last time, we had 3 truckloads, and I believe,
Semi-truckloads?
semi-truckloads full. And I wanna say that was 20 grand for that. And I think they even gave us a discount on it, because we didn't have the funds at that point to pay for it, so.
Oh, all right.
Well,
So we'd like to see that all moved to the right?
well, seriously, I mean, then I'm not gonna go off on this again, because I do it every meeting, it seems, but it looks like number 1 and 2, and then we pretty much blew our park improvement fund for the year.
Well, let's not talk about the park improvement fund first. Let's talk about the activities, and then we'll get into ranking
we're gonna pay
priorities.
for
1 through 10.
Yeah. What,
Yeah,
what
move the
activities do you want
splash
to?
pad and skate park over there, and I don't know, disc golf, if you put a disc golf right there, it's like right next to the county park.
Well, and the church has disc golf.
And the walking trails would be the last thing you put in, because you got everything else. and then put the trails to go around it, so it, in the bathrooms, that would be one of the higher.
That would be one of the higher ones, yeah. That's something that's achievable, I think, in some time frame.
Okay, so those are the activities for the Arc. Let's jump down to Columbia Park. Currently, we've got a playground, baseball, softball, and basketball. Is there anything else that we'd like to add to Columbia Park?
Is there enough benches for people to sit on?
I know we've had a request for additional picnic tables over there, and we'll be putting some there this
That
year.
was my second one.
Columbia is the one by St. Mary's, right?
Is there a possibility you can have like a little barbecue grill there too, or?
One of their basketball hoops is down. Do we have a basketball hoop laying around?
We do. They're actually making it this winter for over there.
Yeah, that's about it.
Okay.
Okay, looking at Gamrot, right now, we'll be looking at playground and potentially adding walking trails. Both of those are not there currently. Anything else that we would like at Gamrot Park?
They already have the flower gardens, don't they?
The gardens should be on here, that they are already there.
They do have the flower gardens, but with that, it's the Live Better, Live Longer group that's kind of organizing that. It's not the city taking care of the gardens, so
Okay.
that's why I left that part
You're
off.
not, okay,
Correct.
See, even put the playground in, I'd be more in favor if we can use up, put something in there just to take care of what Mr. Gamrot, and then in the future, if we come up with money, add extras,
Okay.
you know. But I think Mr. Gamrot, and this might be something he might be happy with if you can get these two things in, which probably will cost under what he has. I think that would work out nice.
And we can have that discussion with him if that's
What he
what
wants.
he would like us to put his money towards.
do you wanna put playground equipment over under activities for camera?
Yeah, I was thinking,
And we do have playground there now.
oh yeah, it is there, it's underlined.
Yeah,
Yeah, because it's currently not installed there. so.
yeah, I see.
Looking at James Green, we've got the flower gardens, walking trails, benches, picnic tables, fishing, and the canoe access.
I think James Green is looking good the way it is.
I do too.
I think about James Green, it'd be nice to get that fountain flowing, or that underneath the footbridge there.
Oh, yeah.
Is that just a pump missing or what?
Well, we don't actually have a pump running through there. We've got a siphon from above the dam
That's right.
that goes down, so we don't pump it out of the river by gravity.
Be cool to get that going again.
Okay.
What's it just plugged up or?
I'm not sure. I'll talk to the guys and see why that's not going.
Because that isn't gonna cost us anything, just a siphon it.
Right.
That's cool.
Mhm.
Leverage. The grills and picnic tables, again, the owner of Sally May? Is that Shirley May?
Sure. Surely, maybe.
Shirley May.
Yeah.
He spoke to me and he said he'd be willing to donate
For Labor Day or?
for Leverage.
Or
Labor Day.
Kiwanis, isn't he next to Kiwanis?
He's next to Kiwanis.
No, he said Leverage as far as like making outdoor camping sites or rest sites for the night for travelers.
Okay.
I can have a conversation with him and see if he's serious about that. But is that the price I would tell him, about $250?
Where we come on, I don't know if you.
I did not research the 250.
The 250, that is what it costs, when they put the sites in Lindbergh State Park, when the
Okay.
leadership Lindyland did it a few years ago. They had to have them, they had to have them, they bought them right from the DNR, so they stayed,
Funds.
whatever,
Yeah.
Okay.
that they would make, they have to be handicapped, they have to be all this, and they're double lined so you don't burn yourself on the outside, but the ones that they put in, they were $250 a piece.
For the grill and the picnic table? Or?
Oh, that is, no, that's not a picnic table, that was just and it's more like a fire ring with a grill that spins over the top of it.
Well, so would this board be, if I talked to him and he said, yeah, let's do it? So something we want to do in Leverage Park? Because we really never discussed that, did we?
Not yet, no.
Is that something you wanna coincide with the West Side Improvement?
Well, it's from there, when we come down to that, if you, West Side Improvement Association would like to do that. And, them girls, like we talked at the last meeting, that are on a pipe, like in Pine Grove Park. The Lions would like to put some of them in at the Lions Complex too, for when they're having
Softball.
tournaments and stuff like that, that they could grill hot dogs or hamburgers or whatever. Is funding for that kind of stuff is not a problem. It's just it has to be okayed.
It's almost like having a mini tailgate party for some of these softball games and that.
But we got a long list here. I don't know if
So,
we wanna get-
do we want to add anything to the Labor Day? What, do we want to add the girls to it?
There's probably a lot of things that we'd like to add tonight.
I think Labor Day, the grills would be a nice thing for now.
And the West Side Improvement Association, in fact, I think they're gonna wanna come and talk to this board at some meeting. They would, like to see, for a capital, they're thinking about, putting in, like a gazebos, smaller gazebos, like 1 or 2 picnic tables would go underneath it with a grill alongside of it.
I had that, picnic table with roof, rubber J.
Yeah. And from, instead of making one big building like we did, like the Lions did over there, to have little ones, maybe more than one along the river.
Or just a open air shelter.
It is, yes,
Yeah.
something that they can get shade.
Yeah,
uh,
and if it rains,
So,
But
Get
a
out of
couple
rain.
of things, just a small, and, and they say that, that the concrete, because of the bases and right, well, maybe we could incorporate with, when we put the trails in, the granite, that if you put poles in, put a roof on it of some kind, and then just put crushed granite down instead of cement. That way if it moves or something, we just add more to it to, and we could incorporate it right into the trails
right.
as they go through. But that is something that they are very interested in.
We kind of skipped one here at Kiwanis. Right now we've got fishing, bicycle rest stop, picnic table, and bench. Is there anything else we'd like to add to the Kiwanis one? That actually is on the MRT route, as well as there's going to be a post there indicating the MRT sign. The state of Minnesota gave us some panels to put up there, and so we'll be placing that this summer at that location as well. So that one's kind of geared up towards bicycle type of use.
Do we want a porta potty there?
that's probably the only thing I could see.
Okay.
I don't see us putting grills there.
No.
We're too close to the river and
But if it's a bicycle stop, it's kind of nice.
Speaking from somebody who rode their bicycle across the United States, porta potties wherever and nice bicycle rest stops are wonderful. So,
I just use cornfields.
well, yeah.
Yeah, you don't want me
out in
standing
the open
down
now.
on the rocks of the river and going,
Yeah, I know what you mean. I
But-
used to do a lot of biking. and-
The MRT is becoming more and more traveled. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Looking at Legion Park, right now we've got playground, basketball, and benches. Do we want anything else? Any other activities at that location?
How much land is there? Because
it's swamp.
Yeah, everything to the east of that is wetland.
Yeah, we
Okay.
aren't gonna be able to do anything there.
leave it as is.
Yeah, I would not.
Looking at Lindbergh Lions Complex on the west side, right now we've got a playground, softball, baseball, ice skating, hockey rink, picnic tables with the roof, and then we added the grill for the activities. Is there anything else that we could see going on over
Yeah.
there?
There, I couldn't see little grills all over, but could you designate like a grilling
I
area?
think so.
Oh, and what we were thinking of is by the big gazebo there.
Yeah,
The
Where you-
open air one,
you
right?
got, yeah, the
Yeah.
open air.
Because that makes a whole lot more sense, you know, confining them, and then groups can do a little bit more with it, you know?
And you've got, you know, what is it, 10 picnic or 12 picnic tables underneath
Yeah,
that.
there's quite a few.
So you probably want more than one if there's more than one family there,
True.
you know.
4 of them.
Or,
And
you know,
we
whatever.
we can define the number of them, but yes, that seems realistic. Looking at Maple Island Park, right now we've got flower gardens, walking trails, benches, picnic tables with a roof, restrooms, fishing, canoe access, and then winter sledding. Anything else that we want to think about at Maple Island?
You know, we did bring up that up on the top there, a lookout, and you said it might be so expensive to engineer. Is there a way we could build something cheap in there, because it sure would be nice, and that would actually,
We can always add it to here and then look at the costs,
yeah,
you know,
You're
at some point.
talking along the sidewalk?
Yeah.
yeah, up on top. Because that kind of complements Maple Island, that's all the same.
So I'll put down scenic overlook. Because this isn't necessarily what you're gonna do next year or the year after, but this is ultimately where we see this park going in terms of the activities at the park.
And I think I told you before, Greg, that's probably the one thing I wanted ever since I've been on this board.
That fence.
And I understand things get pushed back, it's not a priority, but man, you drive it, that's the prettiest drive into Little
Mhm.
Falls, and cyclone fencing
Yep.
is what we've got there, so that'd be nice.
Also make it more inviting to go to the park.
Oh, yeah.
It looks nicer.
Yep.
It'd be cool.
Next page, looking at Memorial South. You know, we've got flower gardens, that fountain, and then we do have some benches over there as well. Anything else that you can think of for that area?
No. Because I can't imagine putting pits over there.
Agreed.
How about, we do have a porta potty down by the fishing, where people fish, so we don't really need one there. Okay.
Mill Park, right now we've got sightseeing, fishing, and then walking trails.
Is
Anything
there
else?
canoe access? Did the beavers help us?
You can canoe into that little lagoon or whatever that is.
Yeah.
Actually, there's a tree down, is there still a tree down over there?
No, not when I went,
Cause I kayaked there, I think it was 2 years ago, and they had the old,
one of those.
yeah, skin guy.
Well, we got, yeah, there's something down there, it's doing some landscaping down there, just leave it
Yeah.
alone. But, the canoe, where you can canoe into that, they use that all the time.
Yeah,
I mean, it's just something to.
It's backwater. you
Well, I'm
know.
just saying for
I had written down-
usability, if we can take that tree out of there, I don't know if it's
Oh.
legal, but we can figure it out.
Fishing, it's all right just to fish from the bank,
Yeah.
and that's all.
There's
A lot of
actually-
people go
There's a
there.
lot of people that go there.
Yeah.
The only thing that, with Mill Park is that, we're gonna have to look into it, or somebody's gonna have to look into it before somebody gets hurt.
Yeah.
Is the old building that, you know, it was when they decided to fence it off and make it into the historic, they never capped that, and the water has gone in between the bricks. Bricks are falling off, the mortar's all gone. Somebody's gonna get hurt there, and then kids, it's to the point now, there's nothing left.
Okay.
It should be just gone.
So maybe that'd be a good thing to check before cause what the grants stated when that was all torn down in the first
I'll have to
place.
look to see how the grant was worded and what it was all for. I mean,
Right.
obviously,
Cause I don't think any of that
Yeah.
stuff would've been left if it wasn't part of the grant.
right, I mean, Hennepin paper obviously was significant to the area.
But
so
no,
some-
but that grant was never, what cleaned up that park was that slush super fund.
Okay.
That had nothing to do with that.
Well, I'm just saying, are our hands tied at all as far as turning that stuff out of there?
That, we're not gonna, no,
I'll double check on that.
but
Whatever, we need to make it safe before we're sued.
Exactly, before
Right.
somebody gets hurt,
So-
because that's a long ways down.
If you can assess that, like go in there and have somebody do a study, what it'd take to make it safe at least.
But I
and
wouldn't
some of
do
the issues-
anything in that part until MPNL decides what they're gonna do, how they're gonna build their road
Yeah.
through there. And let DNR decide what they're gonna do
As far as that
with
ladder.
that fish ladder, because
Yeah.
that still is in, if you look up, it's still there.
Right now, Minnesota Power is still gonna continue to use that access road. And the DNR has not pursued or, done anything with that fish ladder. There was some talk about it, but that's kind of, gone to the wayside now. So,
Again,
yeah. So
and
really,
MPNL is gonna leave the bridge that is there now currently.
yeah, and that's ours, all of that. So what I would like to do is actually move that over to the south and kind of put a culvert in through there so that we don't have traffic going up over that area. Just because I don't want pedestrians up on top of there. We've got a railing that's not that secure. So I'd like to fence that off a little bit more secure and have the vehicles come farther south, or excuse me, to the east.
Makes sense to me.
So are there any other activities that you see in Mill Park? I know that's one of our underutilized parks. One that we actually have a lot of horsing around in, where people bring their cars and do donuts and so on and so forth. So it'd be nice to have more activities there, more people there to discourage any of
And
that.
restrict some of the driving, you don't really have to drive, I mean,
Right.
is there a way to close it off when MPN
True.
Yeah.
What I would ultimately like to do, and obviously we've got to talk to the board regarding that, is to put a power gate across there. You know, something that Minnesota Power would still be able to access and get
Yeah.
through, but it would limit the general user from being able to bring a vehicle in through there. They can still have access because we'll have.
Well, the
pedestrian
nighttime
lanes.
general
I think though-
users.
If
And
you, yeah,
Feel
yeah.
the people that now you're getting into, then from the south axis where you block it off the only place you can, then the fishing is on the other end of it.
Yeah.
Without having some kind of, now, if they can't drive to it and handicap you,
I've seen a lot of people walk a long ways to go fishing.
Yeah, but honestly, if I didn't couldn't, because I always take my Jeep up for rides in the summertime, if I couldn't drive in there, I would never go to that park, ever.
Well, even if it's like at a certain time of the day it locks up,
Yeah.
that's when we have the issues is
Yeah, like
after
at-
dark.
At 9
that's
o'clock.
exactly you.
And you don't
Put
fish
that
in the
on.
dark back there, so if you
Right.
kept it open to fishing and,
MPNL doesn't use it at night either.
no,
Then
they
we get
don't.
into the issue of who closes it at night.
Well, can you
You know, we've got that same dilemma with some of our bathrooms. They get closed at 5 o'clock, well, it doesn't get dark until 9, so who,
Well, check into what a gate would cost
$8,000.
and then $8,000. And then is there a way
just leave it.
somebody can lock it up like when they do the bathrooms or?
But that's at 5 o'clock at night then.
I was just saying, just leave it alone. I mean, what are they gonna do besides spray paint some stuff? I mean, then we just tear it down.
Well, they're gonna get hurt.
Well,
They can get hurt. If you make an exception for every knucklehead that's out there, you're just gonna make a lot of exceptions. I mean, it's just, people can get hurt doing anything.
it's more having to go back and repair the grass after they've done donuts and stuff on there.
Cleaning out the graffiti.
Cleaning out that, yeah.
You know, our other parts
If
we
people
don't
are out
drive
to
through.
looking to make trouble, they're gonna find a way to make trouble. That's just my opinion, but.
We don't drive through any of the other parks, you have to lock.
Yeah.
But I don't, and locking that is not gonna stop that anyhow, it may even increase it, because the kids don't come through there. The kids that are doing the problem are coming through the main road, they're coming through the other corner up there.
Oh,
It
coming
would be
down the
cheaper,
track
it would be
line.
cheaper than a
On the other
fence,
side.
is to say, put a sign on the big bold letters saying, this park is surveyed by
They've got that.
cameras. And people are still doing it? Well, then actually, let's put cameras there, that'd be cheaper than a fence.
Fake cameras. They
We're
don't
we're
have
supposed to
be
have
there.
real cameras, aren't we?
We do have them now.
Okay. I just don't think that's a priority, that's all I'm saying.
Okay, any other activities at Mill Park before we move on?
No.
Okay. North Pine Grove, currently we've got the baseball and softball fields over there, basketball, tennis, fire pit, and then we have hiking.
I think over there, the only thing is finish up the hiking trail, and it doesn't need any more in that area.
Okay.
And I would not do anything with the tennis courts. If you're gonna do anything, I'd tear it out and put in volleyball or something.
Yeah, the tennis courts, I wouldn't be looking at resurfacing those just because it doesn't get a whole lot of use. I'd like to repurpose them somehow, but I don't have an answer on how to do that.
Jog it all.
Possibly.
Okay.
So, Pine Tree Park. We've got the playground over here. We've got baseball and softball, basketball, and we do have the hockey rink over there as well. Any other items that you'd like to add to it? Next year, I would like to not flood the open skate area, just the area that's in the boards, for a couple of reasons. One, it's difficult to get that to set up a good sheet of ice, and it does kill the grass. So in the summertime, even if you're trying to play baseball or softball over there, it's pretty much dead grass over there that you're playing on. So try to take away the ice skating and maybe keep it
There's
warm.
even sandburrs grow in that area.
Yeah,
You know, walk through there and get them in your socks. And
right. So
Actually, I quickly would like to revisit Maple Island Park. I always thought it'd be cool, and this is just something to consider, to do like, if we do like an ice skating area down below that sledding hill, where people are sledding all the time, like on the other side, because it's open enough there. And you do like a Christmas tree or something like that in the wintertime. I think it'd be kind of cool, just because it's such a neat atmosphere right there.
what's the grass like there?
You just reseed it.
you usually see it every year.
But it's not a big deal. I mean, you just use annual ryegrass and it's gonna die anyways, and it's cheap. But I think it'd be a cool atmosphere, and then, you have the sledding,
On the west side of the
of the
Right
lower,
there?
yeah.
Okay.
So, there's just something for you guys to think about. I always thought it'd be kinda cool, because then you combining the two. But-
You know, your skating rink, Bolas, Matt Bobick used to go in and use stucco dye, create these unique designs in our little skating rinks.
That'd be cool.
It's fun, more fun than just ice when you
Yeah.
have color.
But that's a side note.
Pine Grove Park. Right now we've got the playground, bird watching, hiking, picnic table, excuse me, grills, restrooms, and there is a kitchen in that one shelter there.
I think Pine Grove Park is nice the way it is. You get the walls and that fixed, and never were trying to make it into a entertainment area. It's more to enjoy the trees and the park, nature,
Riverside Park right over here. We've got picnic tables there. Potentially thought of adding grills there. What I kind of see that area turning into is kind of like a trailhead. Again, for the MRT or the Campers with Veterans Trail, I think that'd be a good spot for something like that.
or even canoes.
Or even canoes, yeah.
But the grill would be nice there.
Yeah. Veterans Memorial, right now we've got flower gardens and then sightseeing at that location. Washington, that's over by the library. We've got the playground, we've got the baseball and softball field there.
The baseball, that's just an open field, isn't it?
Yes, yep. It's
So
got the
if you hit a home
backstop.
run, does have a backstop out
It's got the backstop, but it
but
doesn't
nothing
have
else.
nothing on
Is
the.
there a possibility of putting some out there so they don't have to run for the ball all the time?
What I like about not
Like
having
the pine trees, there's
For the-
trees.
There's a left-handed kid, yeah, he's gonna hit the pine trees.
he's gonna hit the pine trees,
The
yeah.
right-handed hitter could hit one down to the
Playground.
playground equipment.
Yeah. What I like about not necessarily having the outfield fence is that if somebody wanted to play football there, they could, it's a nice square, they can play
Yeah.
football as well, so it leaves it kind of open.
I just don't like kids running in the street to go after a ball.
True, True.
and all,
But there again, fencing is gonna cost lots of dollars.
Right.
maybe future, okay.
Looking at the zoo, you know, we've got animal watching, walking trails, picnic tables, restrooms. That's kind of what we've got for the zoo. So, now that we went through the activities, let's go back to the front of the list and just kind of discuss what our park priorities would be. You know, I've kind of listed some of the items in terms of improvements at the various parks there. And then the numbers off to the side in parentheses that are bold, excuse me, are my ranking in terms of what I see as the priority. And really what I was looking at are the safety issue ones, and then everything kind of fell after that. So again, starting at the arc, you know, we've got mulch and fall protection, bathrooms, walking trails, splash pad, skate park, and disc golf, with the mulch being the top ranking, and the bathrooms were ranking at number 6. Looking at Columbia Park, updating the playground equipment over there. We do have some older equipment in that area. It's nothing that we necessarily need in the near future, but it's something I think we should keep on our radar. Gamrot Park, walking trails and playground equipment. Nothing at James Green or Kiwanis. Labor J Park, right now, the crushed granite trails, picnic tables and grills. And then probably add the picnic tables with roof there. Looking at Legion Park, updating the playground equipment and basketball. Lindbergh Lions, we've got LED lighting, that's number 5 on the priority list. Refurbish the backstop and dugouts for field number 2. Hockey boards, and that is number 2 ranking on our list, because they are, the boards are actually indoor boards that are placed outside. And so the plastic on them is starting to get brittle, and some of them are breaking. So we had to take a bunch of that off this past year and actually put some plywood in there just to get it up and going this winter. And one of the next items you'll see on there is actually a price to get some replacement boards for that location, so that we can make sure that next year we have it up and running as well.
Was the West Side Improvement Association interested?
Right now for Lindbergh Lions Park, the Lions, in fact, are going to be presenting in the WSA. The city has already got the $5,000 for refurbishing the backstop. That was a $10,000 in dugouts. Our the one we had last, it was the estimated amount of money. The WSA is going to be giving you a check when they come in front of the council for their license.
Okay.
For another $5,000 to cover that.
And that was for, you said, the backstop and
The
dugouts?
refurbished backstop and dugouts, the $10,000.
Okay.
They've already donated that, so that money is in the bank. The hockey boards, the Lions have talked about that they would pay for the majority of that. I'm not gonna say you're gonna get the 30,000, but that they wanted a price in concrete, how much it was gonna be, and then they would decide how much they were gonna pay you. But they wanted it done, they write the check when it's done.
Yep.
Not 5 years from now. So, you know, them two are covered, basically.
Okay. So, moving forward to Maple Island Park, update bridges. We've got the pedestrian bridges that go over that little canal there. those have been in there for quite a while. We'll have to kind of evaluate the condition of those and make sure that they stay, operable and safe for pedestrians and such. Paint the pavilion. Right now, there's that gazebo area at the end of that canal. That's been there for quite a while. We'll need to paint that and make sure that it stays in decent shape. I know there's some areas that are already starting to rot that we're going to want to update. That's number 4 on the ranking. And then there's currently concerts that are held down there. On the next page, we've got the Memorial South. Currently, we've got benches and picnic tables by the dam. Is there any other use, and we've kind of looked at that by the activities, that mainly the fountain, the flower gardens, and the benches is really what we want to use over there. Mill Park, what I would like to kind of see, and we've talked a little bit about this, a new road to MP&L, and that crossing currently crosses over top of the where the fish ladder would potentially go. I'd like to move that a little bit farther east so that it's more of a straight stretch into the park, as opposed to up and around that corner. That corner is pretty difficult to see around, so I'd like to move that to the east so that we can kind of eliminate that. That's number 8 on the priority there. And
And
then
isn't that something that, need help you with?
possibly.
Is that, that is a terrible corner to make with the big trucks.
Yeah. Really what it would entail is a couple of culverts with some fill going over it. And possibly some trails in through that park, and Mr. Gosha kind of touched on it. We really don't have any other parks in town that you drive through. Ideally, we'd be able to separate those two activities, but with MP&L having that easement through there, I don't know if we're going to be able to completely separate those two items unless we, maintain access to it. Give them a remote to open and close the gate if
I think John hit it on the head. We can't do anything till MP&L decides what they're gonna do. Because they might go on that north end.
They've already made that decision, yeah.
They did, huh?
Yeah. That would have been in conjunction with BNSF tracks going through there, and that didn't occur.
Okay.
They
So
tried, they wanted it, and they couldn't.
so it's where it's at.
That's where it's at.
Okay.
Yep. It would have been a lot easier if they did go on the north end.
Well, it'd make our life easier.
Right, but we're gonna have to maintain that use in through there so that they can get through it. So whether somehow we make it a gravel or a granite chip path that both their trucks and people can walk on or something like that. Looking at North Pine Grove, we've got the walking trails, we've got to remove a lot of that buckthorn and then possibly repurpose those tennis courts. I'm probably going to try to work with Ripley again when they come and do their annual thing for the city to remove a bunch of that buckthorn, just because it is pretty overgrown back in that area.
Maybe they would want to put the trail in.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pine Tree Park, upgrade the playground equipment, looking at those hockey boards. Right now we've got the plywood hockey boards. They've actually been very good for us, just considering how long we've had them. But at some point in time, we're going to want to upgrade those to a little bit better.
Them have been there for a long time because I put them in with my summer youth groups.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they're still there.
They're holding up well. Upgrade the ball field, like I stated earlier, with the open skate in that area that kind of kills the grass, and so that ball field is essentially dead grass in the summertime, so it doesn't really get used a whole lot. So it'd be nice to upgrade that so that kids have a place to actually use.
Part of the problem is you can't get grass to grow there, is you're in that bull sand.
We are in sand, yeah.
Would there be a possibility that you could get some of the black dirt from Burlington Northern that they're hauling? No?
No.
If
That's
you
all
could
there
put
stays
some
there.
black dirt in there, you could get the grass to grow maybe a little bit.
I know.
So you're thinking of getting rid of ice skating, open skate altogether there?
We'll still have the hockey rink, but get rid of the open skate area, yeah.
So then I'm just looking building, new, fix existing. If we don't have open skating there.
What do you need the
what do you
building
need a
for?
building for?
Well, for the hockey rink, and maybe,
That's pretty far hike though, isn't it?
well, and maybe if we upgrade that building, maybe at that point we bring back the open skate. But right now, really, nobody uses that.
Yeah.
I haven't seen anybody over there use that open skate area. But I
Well-
know the west side gets quite a bit of use, and it's likely because of the
Warming house.
warming house. So
Yeah.
if we want more use over here, we're gonna have to get a warming house going again.
That building's not in that bad a shape.
The floor is pretty bad.
Not
Yeah.
flaking out, cracking, or,
It's a lot of, I think if I remember those plywood that they have,
Okay.
it's,
It's rotten out.
yeah.
Well,
Plus the bathrooms and stuff are in pretty need of repair, so maybe the shell of the building is decent because it's block, but we'd have to do some serious remodeling inside.
and that would have to meet handicap
Yes.
coding and everything.
Yep.
probably just smarter just to take it down and kibosh the open skating right there, isn't it?
Well, they still need it for the hockey,
For the hockey, yeah.
but that, I think one of the biggest expenses is having somebody open that up and watching it. Cause
Well,
while they're there, you almost have to, or else kids are gonna get in there and they're gonna destroy things and hurt each other and,
but if it's closed now.
It's closed now.
So the hockey players are making do just fine.
There's a picnic table that they sit on, and that's really changed it, you know. the
They're doing
skates and
fine.
stuff.
They're tough, they're hockey players.
That's true. Pond hockey, right?
I don't know, I mean, if minimized, I think if we can simplify some.
well, they have the
things.
boxes they can sit in too,
Yeah.
you know, the timeout boxes and.
Yeah. I don't know. That's my opinion, okay.
So, yeah, Pine Tree. Then update the basketball court over there. It's been quite some time since that thing has had some attention. At some point, we'll wanna look at, redoing that and upgrading that area there. Cause I have seen, people over there playing basketball, but I know the court is,
It's rough.
it's rough, yeah.
Do they still have the metal
Yep.
nets?
Yep.
Man, I hated anything.
Mhm.
It's like, I don't know, like playing basketball in a chain gang.
Yeah,
Just-
exactly. Yeah. Over at Pine Grove, we're looking at fixing that stone wall on the west, and then we need to fix the wall on the east side. That one currently does not have a footing, and it's actually tipping back. That east portion of that wall is gonna be extremely expensive to fix. But I think we need to fix it in order to preserve the look over there.
One park we don't have on here is the one just east of Pine Grove Manor, where the basketball hoop is and
Yep.
tennis court.
Yep.
And we discussed once maybe putting another basketball hoop in there instead of just a one-end one.
Okay.
And what's that all like there now? Still pretty good shape?
It's actually
or-
pretty decent, yeah.
That was just refinished
Yeah.
6 years ago or something.
Right.
So if a guy, maybe if we threw another hoop, if there's a possibility, so you can make it more of a, you're never gonna get a really big full court, but at
Right.
least they can dribble from one end to the other.
Right. I'll look at the size to see if a second court makes sense, or a second hoop makes sense in there. From what I remember, it was pretty short.
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Moving down to Washington, upgrade the playground equipment. And the zoo, we'd be looking at an exterior chain link fence over there, and potentially a cat building. That's actually probably closer to $600,000 or $700,000 for that cat building at some point in time.
I know it's a sore spot amongst us. I never heard this, and maybe I should have mentioned it. You pay that zoo loan down quicker than the money that we've been using on there from that tower rental. You can actually use for the rest of our park system. So that would have been a good selling point to try to get extra money to get that paid off quicker.
Yeah.
Because it seems like everyone's content just to sit and wait it out for that 10 years. But I feel you could do a lot with that money from the rental on the tower for 10 years. So
Do a lot,
Anyway.
could do a lot with the extra 40 grand.
But it's done, I realize that. Is there any other possibilities we can generate some kind of money to pay that zoo down?
You're taking from one pocket and going to the next.
It would be nice if the Friends had a plan to do that, because
Well, they don't, yeah, they don't have any money either though.
Right.
Does anybody have a thoughts other than what Greg has here, the listing he's got in priorities?